Hi, Stephanie. How are you?
How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you as well. Welcome to class.
Thank you.
And Jose, hello. Looks like Jose will be right back. So we'll wait just a moment for people to arrive. I think we have a full class. And it should be a good class. Hopefully a very useful class.
Hi, Stephanie.
Hello, Roa. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. Welcome to class.
Thanks.
Glad you're here.
Thanks, Stephanie.
Good.
Yes, we will take passive. I like it.
Yes, very heavy grammar tonight. So
Yes.
hopefully it's very useful. I know the passive voice can be confusing, but it's very important for reading and writing in
Yes.
English. So.
Yes.
Good. And Mirko, hello.
Hello.
How are you today?
I'm fine, thanks.
Good. And where are you from?
I'm from Italy.
Italy. Okay. Very nice to meet you. Welcome to class.
Thank you.
And Anatoly, hello.
Hello.
How are you today?
I am fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine. Looking forward to a grammar-based class. I think it will be useful and hopefully interesting. Though the grammar stories themselves are rather boring as far as fiction stories go, but they do a very nice job of illustrating the grammar. So should be interesting. And hello, Jacob.
Hello, David.
How are you today?
Thank you very much. Listen.
Good, good.
Listen.
And Jose, hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm pretty good.
Good. And hello, who is in the background?
This is my son,
Your son. Wonderful. What's his name?
Jose Alfonso.
What's that?
His name is Jose Alfonso.
Jose Alfonso. Jose Alfonso, hello.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Hello.
Very nice. And where are you from?
I'm from the Dominican Republic.
Dominican Republic. Wonderful. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to
Is
meet
that
you.
your daughter?
Yeah, she's my daughter.
Oh, cute. Cute.
Yeah, my kid.
Very cute. Nice to see your family.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Well, and Maduri in the chat, hello.
Hello. For you, which grammar theme, which grammar subject we have today?
Our subject today is the passive voice.
Passive voice. Okay.
Yep. So
Mm-hmm.
we will be reading some grammar stories that are designed to show how the passive voice is used in English. And what's that?
Have you a series of grammar lessons, or this only so an individual lesson? If you have a series, that means more lessons which have a curriculum which you can provide every day or every 2 days would be wonderful.
Yeah, this comes not from a curriculum, but from a website that has similar lessons. So this lesson, the grammar stories, are part of kind of a series that I've been doing around different grammar points.
Yeah, I'd like to suggest you politely that you have a concept for you as a teacher.
Mhm.
You design a curriculum
Mhm.
with some grammar, for example, tenses,
Yes.
passive
Yep.
and active, and you support that with your nice stories.
Yes. So,
Then you have a curriculum, yeah,
uh,
a short
yeah.
curriculum, but you can cover all the grammar of English through this nice way. It would be very innovative.
Yeah, yes. It would be lovely if I had a full curriculum.
Yeah.
However, I cannot afford to purchase my own curriculum, nor do I have the time to develop my own curriculum. So
Yeah.
it is kind of what I can find. The website that I got tonight's lesson from is called esllibrary.com. And Verbling provides this website for all of its teachers. It's a very nice website. I find it has good grammar exercises. So
Uh,
I will continue to design lessons around specific grammar points.
Premium.
Yeah. All right, so with that, let's get into tonight's lesson. There are a few new people, so a quick introduction of myself. My name is Stephanie. I am from the United States. I'm in my 7th year of teaching, and I am currently living in the Czech Republic, where I teach children by day. I teach English to children and teach on Verbling during the evenings and weekends.
The other children.
Yeah. So before we go into the grammar stories, I have a website that we will just quickly overview the difference between active voice and passive voice. So I will paste that website in the chat. You can go there on your own screen or just share along with me. We'll do a quick preview of active versus passive, and then we'll go to the grammar stories in the passive voice, and the link to that should be attached to the class descriptions. At any time, if you have a question, please feel free to ask. Questions are very important in these grammar lessons. As a native speaker, it can be hard to always know exactly what is difficult about certain grammar. So please don't hesitate to ask. All right. So this is englishpage.com. Gives some pretty useful descriptions of grammar. And so today's grammar, we'll be focusing on the passive verb forms. Active verb forms are ones you tend to learn early when you are learning English. The passive voice you learn later because it is not often used in conversation, but you see it frequently in reading and writing English, especially academic English. You will encounter the passive quite often. So just really quickly, sentences can be active or passive. Therefore, tenses also have active forms and passive forms. You must learn to recognize the difference to successfully speak English. Active sentences are when the subject is doing the action. So the thing doing the action is called the subject, and the thing receiving the action is the object. Most sentences are active. Here are 2 examples of active sentences. The professor teaches the students. John washes the dishes. Okay. Professor is the subject. Teaches is the verb. Students is the object. In the passive form, the thing receiving the action is the subject. They trade places. In passive sentences, the thing receiving the action is the subject of the sentence, and the thing doing the action may not be included or is optionally included near the end of the sentence using by, using the word by. So the form is the thing receiving the action, the auxiliary be and the past participle, and then by, the thing doing the action. A really good way to think of the passive is to just think that the object becomes the subject. That's kind of how I've taught it in the past. A good way to remember the difference. So two parallel examples here. The students are taught by the professor. It is not necessary to have by the professor. It could just be the students are taught. The dishes are washed by John. The dishes are washed. So you can see the subject, the thing doing. Here is kind of the object. Are there any questions so far? All right, I think these stories, the stories do a really nice job of illustrating this grammar point and should help us out. So let's go to the stories. And there are 3 grammar stories. They are 1 paragraph long. They are rather boring, but they do a nice job illustrating the grammar. I will read the paragraph, but when we get to questions about the stories, I will ask you to read and answer the questions. And that's to give you a little more speaking practice. At the end of class, we will have a discussion with some questions designed to get you to use the passive voice in your spoken English. So, and that for me is the most valuable part of the lesson. So we will certainly get to that. So stick around. And hopefully the grammar stories themselves aren't too boring. So here we go. Here are our grammar stories. The first one is called The Stolen Car. So this might be a little more exciting than some of our past grammar stories. The Stolen Car. Last month, John's car was stolen in Toronto.
Sorry, Stephanie, we can't see share screen. Sharing.
Oh, you can't. Okay. Okay. It looks fine on my end. Let me try it again. Okay, do you see it now?
Yes, no, it's okay. Thank you.
Okay, okay, good. Thank you for telling me. All right. Find my back to the story. Okay, just so you can see that here's the picture we have with it. The stolen car. Last month, John's car was stolen in Toronto. The front window was smashed by the thief, and the car was driven out of the city. It was kept in an abandoned lot for a week. Finally, the window was repaired and it was sold on the black market to a used car dealership. Soon it was bought by a young man who drove it out west to visit his family. In Alberta, the young man was pulled over for speeding. The car was seized by police because the license plate indicated it was stolen. Finally, the car was returned to John. He couldn't believe all the crazy things that had happened to his car. All right. So I forgot to mention, the reason we use the passive voice is when either we don't know who is causing the action, or when the object is more important than who was causing the action. So in this case, the focus is the car, rather than who stole it or who pulled it over. The main focus is the car, and so the car becomes the subject of the sentence, so to speak. So here's an instance of the passive. John's car was stolen in Toronto. We don't know who stole it. The front window was smashed. In this case, we know it was by the thief, and it was driven out of the city. Are there any questions so far on the grammar?
Just comment. I shared in my screen the path from Toronto to Alberta. It's a long distance.
Very, very useful. Thank you. I actually, even though I am from, in fact, if we look at the map on Anatoly's screen, it looks like the thief took the car right through where I am from. I'm from Minnesota, and it looks like that path crosses Minneapolis. So, funny. Thank you for helping us visualize.
Fanny, can I ask something?
Absolutely.
Okay, what is the difference between passive voice and the causative?
Causative. Let me think for a minute. So let's see. Oh, okay. So causative is closer. That's a really tough question. Causative is when one person causes someone else to do something, and those are still considered active sentences. So they're conjugated normally as an active sentence would. They just involve an indirect object. So like in the sentence, my teacher made me read the question. My teacher is the subject because they're doing the verb. They're making. So hang on. Let me write that example in the chat so we can examine it a little bit. My teacher made me read the question. Okay. So in this sentence, made is our main verb, the principal verb. My teacher is the subject. That's who's doing the verb. I am the object, and the question is the indirect object. I want to say it. To be honest, I'm not exactly certain that that's the perfectly correct answer.
Okay.
Because that's a very tricky structure. But I think I'm pretty certain. I know for certain my teacher is the subject in that instance, and made is active in the active voice. If this example were in the passive voice, it would be the question was made to be read by me, by the teacher, which would be very strange. So that's not a complete answer, but it's a start to an answer.
Okay.
I'll make a note to look for a causative lesson. I wonder if there's a causative grammar stories lesson. And we can do one of these another time.
Okay. Okay. No problem.
Really good question. I wish I had a better answer for you, but it's very tricky. Just short answer, I guess, is that causative sentences are still active.
Yeah, I asked it because my teacher, my previous teacher, explained like it's we use verb got, get, and have with causative.
Yes, there are only certain verbs that can be made causative, or that are causative, because causative always involves another person or thing sometimes. And so there's only so many actions that apply directly to people. Like, yeah, it's make, let, got, have, maybe do. I'm not sure off the top of my head.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm sorry I can't give a better answer.
No. Yes, no problem, no problem.
Okay. Wonderful. Good, really good question. Any other questions before we go into our passive voice questions? Okay, so at this point I will ask for you to be doing some of the reading and answering, and we'll go back and forth between the story and the questions. And if you do not wish to answer, you can just say pass. But Salvatore, can you start by reading and answering our first question?
When was John's car stolen? Mm, sorry, one moment. John's car was stolen last month.
Very nice, very nice. Good passive sentence. And number 2, Roa.
Who was it stolen? How was it stolen?
Yeah, how?
Okay.
Good.
Yes, sorry. Okay, the thief the thief smashed the front window. You wanna this sentence in passive, right?
If you can, yeah, it's a little awkward,
Yes.
but yes.
Yes, no problem. Okay, the front, the window was smashed by the thief, and pulled out or driven out of the city.
Excellent, very nice, very nice. That was perfect. Another way would be it was stolen by the thief breaking the window. Just another option too. So
Okay.
really very good. Number 3, Mirko.
Okay. Where was the car kept for a week? The car was kept for a week in an abandoned lot.
Very nice. And Jacob, number 4.
What was done to the car before it was sold on the black market? So it was bought by a young man who drove it out west to visit his family.
But before, what happened before?
Okay, finally the windows was repaired and it was sold on the black market.
Excellent, excellent.
Okay.
Very good. And number 5, I believe Anatoly is next. Yes, Anatoly.
And number 5. How did the car end up in Alberta?
And the answer?
It was bought by a young man.
Very good. And he drove it right through my hometown.
Drove it. Yes.
Wonderful. And number 6, Salvatore, your turn again.
How did the police end up finding the car? The car was seized by police because the license plate indicate it was stolen.
Good, good. Good. And this word is seized. The EI in this case gets the long E sound. Very hard to predict when.
Teacher, what is it? Seized?
Good question. Seized means taken through force or through law. So yeah, if it's not yours rightfully, the police might seize it from you or take it forcefully.
Okay, thank you.
Good question. And number 7, Roa.
Okay, did John ever get his car back? Yes, the car was getting to John by the police.
Yeah.
Good.
Was returned.
Yes, was returned.
Was returned. Or was, we couldn't say was got. Got would be the past participle. The car, or gotten, yeah, we could say the car, no, we can't. Gotten is the past participle, but for some reason it sounds off. Yeah, the car was gotten back. Yeah.
Okay.
Really good question. I don't know why, but we just wouldn't say that. All right, really great. Let's go to the next story. I just actually want to take a quick peek at our final questions. I want to make sure there's enough time for them. I think there's a lot. So we're going to save, we may only do one more story because there's a lot of discussion questions, and I think that's more valuable. So we will just do one more story, and it's called The Tornado. And we see the tornado there. The tornado. Last month, the Johnsons' house was destroyed by a tornado. The roof was ripped off during the storm. The car was picked up by strong winds and dropped 2 miles from the house. Most of their possessions were lost in the storm. The Johnsons were housed and fed during the ordeal by family and friends. Luckily, the Johnsons' house was insured. Now the house is being renovated. The walls are being repaired, the roof is being rebuilt, and all of the rooms are being painted. The entire house is being refurnished. A lot of money is being spent to repair the house, but at least the family wasn't killed by the storm. Okay, one thing I want to say, our first story, all of the instances of passive voice were in the past, but the passive voice can also be in the present continuous. So in this paragraph we see is being instead of was taken. So this is present continuous passive voice. Are there any questions on the vocabulary or grammar here before we go to the questions?
No.
All right. Good. So let's go to the questions, and I believe it is Mirko's turn. Mirko, will you read number 1 for us?
Okay. What happened to the Jones house? The Jones house was destroyed by a tornado.
Very good. Yep, was destroyed by. And number 2 is Jacob.
Yeah. What happened to the roof?
And The answer, please.
The roof was ripped off during the storm.
Good, good. And phrasal verb there, ripped off.
Simple past.
Yes, great. And next we have Anatoly, number 3, please.
Where was the car dropped by the wind? The car was dropped by the wind 2 miles from the house.
Good, good. And this word, when it's weather, it's a short I. When it's a verb,
Wind,
with
yeah.
string, yeah, then it's the long I. Very confusing. Excellent. Back to Salvatore, number 4.
Who were the Johnsons helped out by during the ordeal? The Johnsons were housed and fed during the ordeal by family and friends.
Very good, very good. And just a side note with housed and helped, the ED sounds like just a T. Housed and helped. There's
Housed.
3 pronunciations for the ED ending, and it can be very difficult. Just a side note. And next, we have Roa, number 5.
Okay, was the house insured? Yes, it was insured.
Very good. Number 6, Mirko.
Okay, what kind of renovation are being done to the house? The walls are being repaired, the roof is being rebuilt, and all the rooms are being painted.
Super. And finally, Jacob, number 7.
Yes, thank you. What is the downside to this situation, and what is the upside?
Ooh, good question here. This is you got the tough question.
Where have you stopped before?
What's
The Jones house was insured. Now the
Mhm.
house is being renovated. The walls are being repaired. The roof is being repaired, and all of the rooms are being painted. The entire house is being refurnished. A lot of money being spent to repair the house, but at least the family wasn't killed by the storm.
Excellent. Yeah. So the downside is most of their possessions were lost. But the upside is their house was insured. So downside and upside means bad and good. Very good.
Okay, that's an idiom.
Yes, yes, those are idiomatic phrases. Those are it's probably the toughest question out of the 7. Downside means what is the bad part of something, and upside is what is a good side.
I know only ups and downs.
Yeah, it's the same. Yep, upside, downside is the same as the ups and downs, the pros and cons.
Yeah.
Although ups and downs can be used to describe, I mean, in meaning, I suppose it is the same. Yeah.
It is not written language. Ups and downs.
The ups and downs you would hear more in conversation. Yeah, in written, you'd probably say upside or downside. It's more formal. Yeah. Good, wonderful. All right.
And Stephanie, could you explain why we use continuous and simple form only for studying, or it is necessary in this sentence? Because when we studied present continuous, for example, or past continuous, we need to use it in specific time to describe it specific time.
Good. Yeah.
Continuous, continuing actions in specific time, but what in this text?
Yes, really good question. So this text could have easily been written all in the past. The tornado is over, their possessions were lost, the house was insured, the walls were renovated, the walls were repaired. But the author of this, at the time that we are reading this, the house is not fully repaired yet. So if the action, it's very similar to the regular present progressive. If it's something that's happening at the moment that you're talking about it, you'll use the present progressive. And so this is the present progressive in the passive voice. Voice is a little bit separate from tense. It's, I guess, completely separate from tense. You can have active sentences in any tense, and you can have passive sentences in any tense. So the difference between present progressive here versus simple present, or maybe this is simple present. No. Okay, so now the house is renovated. Let's just look at this sentence. Now the house is being renovated. Using being here tells us that the workers are still working on the house.
Yes, now. The keyword may be now.
Yeah.
Is being renovated.
But if you deleted the being, if it just said now the house is renovated, that would actually mean that they're done.
Okay.
That the renovations have been completed, and it would turn it into more of the copula be.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, good question.
Okay, Stephanie, can I ask something?
Of course, please do.
Okay, is it still common that we can use passive in present perfect with passive voice, but in present perfect progressive?
Oh, good question. Let's see. So present perfect progressive, but passive. So
yeah.
Let me think of a present perfect progressive. So
because I didn't see it before, but when sometimes when I read a rule for passive, I found it. But it isn't not common, I think.
I don't think it is common. Let's try to think of, so let's think of a present perfect continuous sentence, and we'll try to make it passive. So present perfect continuous might be or do we, present perfect continuous. I'm struggling with that one a little bit. Present perfect continuous. Having been watched, you know, I would need to look into present perfect continuous to answer that question. I'm not sure that that's a very common tense at all. Let me do just a little search. Can anyone think of an example of, here we go. Okay. So you have, okay, it is what I thought. So you have been waiting here for 2 hours. Let's take that. Actually, no, let me find one with a better subject and object. James has been teaching at the university since June. Let's use this example. Oh, it has been written. There we go. Maduri in the chat is giving a very good example of a present perfect. It's just present perfect, though, isn't it? It's, yeah, I think Maduri's sentence looks like basic present perfect to me in the passive. It's definitely present perfect, certainly. And it's certainly in the passive voice. Here's a present perfect continuous, has been teaching at the university since June. Let's see if we can make that passive. And I think this might be one of the tenses that cannot be made passive. Let's see. There's no object here to become the subject. At the university is a prepositional phrase. So is since June. So in the example that I've posted in the chat, we can't make it passive. It has to be active because there isn't an object. Passive always happens with transitive verbs. So a transitive verb is a verb that requires an object. I think that's correct. I want to open that question to the group. Anybody have any thoughts or ideas on that? It would sound something, I feel like if I tried to force this into passive, it would sound something like the university has been being taught at since June. The university has been being taught at since June by James. And I would say that's very awkward and weird. Yeah, I think... Yeah, so Midori in the chat says he has been playing all the summer. Yeah, it's extremely rare. I think it's just something that doesn't work, and it has to do with verb transitivity, is my hunch. I would have to do a little bit of studying myself to give a solid answer. But I would say we do present perfect can certainly be made active, but present perfect continuous, not usually.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I ask it because I want to know if we can use it in speaking.
Yeah. I think I would say just avoid it.
Okay.
Yeah, the situations you would need it are so, I think there would always be a better way to say it. Like in the example here about James, that's technically present perfect progressive. It's technically passive. It's very, very strange. It would be a very, very strange situation in which you would need to say it, and there would still be better, more normal ways to say it. Though grammatically it is correct.
Okay.
All right, really, really good questions. You always make me think.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I like it. That's why I love teaching on verbling. Believe it or not, my 4-year-olds never ask questions like that. And I enjoy the talking about grammar and the deep level language questions. So I do appreciate it. Let's go to the discussion questions. There's a lot of them, so I think we'll get a lot of opportunities to talk about, to actually use the passive voice in spoken English. And so I will read a question and post it in the chat, and actually I will switch back to my camera so it feels more like a discussion. And I will post the questions in the chat also so you can see them written. So our first question is going to be, has a possession of yours ever been stolen? How was it taken? And I'll just briefly answer first. Yes. Actually, it was my brother's possession. My brother's bike was stolen when I was riding it. I rode it to the store, and I was locking it to the bike rack when it was stolen by a man who came up behind me, and he grabbed it out of my hand and rode away. So, one example. And if it's okay, hello, AKA, welcome.
Yes, hello, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Yes, I'm fine, thank you.
And is it okay if we start with you? Has a
Okay.
possession of yours ever been stolen, and how was it
Yes,
taken?
my position have been stolen before. I parked my bicycle at the station, in front of the station, the bicycle parking lot, and I locked the bicycle. But after I came back to the station in the evening, my bike had been stolen
Yeah.
by somebody.
Ah, very good. My bike had.
Somebody broke the key, broke the key, and I reported to the police. And actually, police found my bicycle 2 weeks later. Because of the
Oh,
reason I registered to the police. And if we want, we can register my bicycle, and my police checked the number of the bicycle, and they found my bicycle, and I
wow.
realized my key were broken, were broke. I
Oh
was
my
broke.
God.
Yeah,
Was
was broke.
broken. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Well,
And
that's good that you got it back.
yeah, and after that, police said you had better having another type of key. Chain type is, or yeah. So I bought such kind of key.
Ah, good.
After that,
Like a U lock.
yes, that's right.
Good. Good. And I'm really glad you got your bike back. If you don't mind, I want to make one little grammar point based on what you said. Um, you said my bike had been stolen, and that was perfect. The meaning is perfect. The grammar construction is perfect. So sometimes the past perfect can be used, or the passive.
Okay.
So just so everyone in the class is aware of that, there are instances where if you're using someone, a word like that, someone had stolen my bike, is the same as saying my bike was stolen by someone, or my bike was stolen. So I just wanted to point that out for people listening. They mean exactly the same. Wonderful. How about you, Mirko? Has a possession of yours ever been stolen?
Oh, unfortunately, yes. My tablet was stolen.
Oh no.
I left in my car, and it was opened by a thief.
By a thief? So
A
you left
thief
the
opened
tablet
my
in your
car,
car,
yes.
and your car was broken into?
Yes, I left the tablet inside my car. Yes.
Oh no. Did they steal anything
Only the
else?
door, not the windows.
Oh gosh. Yikes. Did
No,
they
I
take
don't
anything
left
else?
anything else in my car.
Oh, that still sucks. I'm sorry to hear that. But thank you for sharing, and very nice use of the
Thank
passive
you.
tense. Um, so Roa, how about you? Has a possession of yours ever been stolen?
Yes, my clutch had been thrown by me. Okay, I thought that I put it into my bag, and then I I discovered that I threw it in the street.
Oh no.
Yes, but
Oh.
I yes.
Did
I discovered that after a while.
Did you find it, or it was stolen? I'm sure from the street.
Yes, yes, yes. It was stolen because I come back to the same place. Came back to the same place, and I didn't find it again.
Oh no! Oh, that sucks. Oh, how was this a long time ago, or?
Yes, yes, it was a long time.
Well, it's good you can laugh about it now.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was a bad night, though.
Yes, it was.
Oh gosh. Well, thank you for sharing.
Thanks.
Yeah. How about you, Salvatore? Has a possession of yours ever been stolen?
Yes, my motorbike was stolen by some bad guys because I remember I went to the pub with my friends and I left my motorbike outside the pub. When I went outside the pub, I didn't see my motorbike anymore, and so I realized that my motorbike was stolen. But there was my friend that knew uh, some new bad guys, and he talked with them, and he convinced to them to give me my motorbike.
Oh, so you got it back then?
Yes,
Well,
very bad guys.
that's good. Yeah, so the thieves were arrested?
No, no, teacher, no.
Oh, oh no. But you got it back.
Yes,
Well, that's important. That's probably the most important thing. That must have been scary to walk out and see your motorbike gone.
yes, I was very unhappy when I saw that my motorbike there wasn't.
Yeah, I imagine that would be shocking and upsetting. Yikes. Okay. Thank you for sharing, everyone. We have one more question. Actually, it's two questions. I chose this one because it's in the present tense, just to give us a little practice in a different tense. So where is your car kept, and where is your wallet kept? If you don't have a car, you can say your bicycle or your motorbike or your bus ticket or whatever your means of transportation, where is it kept? So where is your car kept? My car is kept in my my aunt's cousin's garage. I don't know what relation she is to me. So my car is kept in my aunt's cousin's garage in Minnesota. And my wallet is kept in my coat pocket. How about you, AKA? Where is your car kept?
Where is my car kept? No, no, it's a question. Sorry. My car is kept. Is kept. Possible. Is kept in my house's garage. Yeah.
Garage. Yep. The stress falls on the second syllable in that one because we borrowed that word directly from French.
Okay. And my wallet was kept in secret.
Ah, good. That's good, so it doesn't get stolen. Good. All right. Mirko, where is your car kept and where is your wallet kept?
Okay. My car is kept in a parking because I don't have a garage.
Good.
And my wallet is kept in my jacket usually.
Very nice, very nice. All right, thank you very much. And Roa, where is your car kept and where is your wallet kept?
Okay, because I don't have a car, so I'll answer my wallet is kept in my shuffle on my into my clothes.
Good. Okay, so not in your clutch in the street.
No, finally, no.
Good, good. I'd say that's a much safer place to keep it.
Yes.
Good. All right. And Salvatore, where is your car kept and where is your wallet kept?
My car is kept on the street under my house. My wallet is kept into my jacket.
Okay, very good. All right. Thank you very much. All right, so normally I take my lessons right up to the very minute, to the very last minute. Tonight, I have my very first private tutoring session. I want to make sure that I start that even a minute early. But are there any questions? What's that?
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm excited for it. A little nervous.
No, you're doing well. I know that.
Thank you. I'm always nervous when it's new people, and I always hope I can do well for what people need. So, are there any questions or comments or anything else before we say goodbye?
No, if anything.
Okay, thank you, Rowan. Thank you, Salvatore. Thank you, Mirko. Thank you, AK. Oh, here's Anatoly. We can ask him quickly. Where is your car kept and where is your wallet kept?
Which question? I'm looking to the questions list.
Oh, it's in the chat, in the Verbling chat.
I don't have a car. I don't have wallet.
Well, how convenient. All right. Well, thank you everyone for participating. I will be looking for a lesson on causative soon, and if not, I will certainly be back with more grammar stories soon. So keep an eye out if you enjoyed this lesson, and I hope to see you all soon in future lessons.
Yes, good luck.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you
Thank you.
soon.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Yes.